Telco Sports welcomes you to our coverage of high school basketball, where the Russia Raiders will take on the Botkins Trojans. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors. First, National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco. You're looking live here at the Coliseum. My name's Brady Coburn. Glad to have you here for this varsity contest between the Russia Raiders and the Botkins Trojans. Shaping up to be a good one here in the Shelby County Athletic League today here. Let's take first a look at the Russia Raiders, who come in at a 3-4 record. They have not played since Monday, where they had their 3-game win streak snapped against Covington, falling 44-37, and the injury bug starting to hit the Lady Raiders. Carly Scott had already been out for the season before the season even started. Callie Gubo had some surgery, a role player off the bench, and Jayla Shappy and Shay Hammonds now out for tonight's game against the Botkins Trojans. And the Raiders are going to bring up a flurry of new players to get some playing time here tonight. Kylie Dosek, Celeste Borchers, and Faith York to get some more looks here for the Raiders as their lineup continues to evolve here for first-year head coach Michael Bayshore, as Raiders look to get back to that 500 mark here after falling Monday to Covington. Take a look on the flip side here for the Botkins Trojans. They sit at 3-2 on the season, 1-2 in the Shelby County Athletic League. The injury bugs hit them as well, with having Mulaney Maurer tearing her ACL before the season even started, and also having Camden Paul hurt. She is dressed today. She did play that fourth quarter the other day against Fairlawn and played pretty well, but she's not in the starting lineup here tonight. So the injury bug really hurting both these teams. But you know, really these teams are going to really duke it out for the fourth, fifth, third position here in the Shelby County Athletic League. It'll be interesting to see how these teams fight through the adversity that has snake-bitten both these teams in the early part of the season. We'll kick it down to PA announcer Ryan Gutman for our national anthem. We'll have our starting lineups and keys to the game here next on NK Telco Sports.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our four-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Back here on NK Telco Sports, let's take a look at our starting lineups here. First, for the Russia
They are
Raiders.
number 3, Claudia Haney.
Number 3, sophomore Claudia Haney.
Number 4, Ronnie Poling.
Number 4, senior Ronnie Poling.
Number 21, Addison
21,
Shappy.
junior Addison Shappy.
Number 22, Celeste Borchers.
22, freshman Celeste Borchers.
And number 32, Hazel
Lineup,
Francis.
freshman number 32,
The Raiders
Hazel
are led by head
Francis.
coach Mr. Michael Bayshore. He's assisted
Raiders
by
are led
Rachel
by first-year
Borchers,
head coach
Luke
Michael
Dayport,
Bayshore, and assisted
and
by
Bruce
Rachel
Hetzler.
Borchers, Bruce Hetzler, and Luke Dayport. As the lights dim down here, and Botkins enters Sandman. Blair's on the speakers here for the Botkins Trojans.
Okay, Trojan fans, welcome to game number 6. Let's get loud and get up, get up. Get on your feet and make some noise for head coach Tyler Carson and his Botkins Trojans.
These teams have met a lot over the last
Starting at
handful
one
of
guard is a
years.
5'4" freshman,
5'4"
and one half of
freshman,
assistant
number
Blackfoot, number 3,
Peyton Blackfoot.
Peyton Blackfoot. Starting at another guard is a 5'7" junior, number 12,
Delana
T.B.
Pitts.
Starting at 1'4" is a 5'7" junior, number 32,
Jana
Metz. Starting at another forward position is a 5'9" freshman, 22,
freshman
Maddie
22, Madeline Fry.
And last, playing forward in today's game, she's number 10. She's a senior. She's 5 foot 8 inches. The other half of the
Trojans
sisters
are coached by
Flatfoot.
second-year head coach Tyler Carson, and assisted by Sarah Bergman and Andy Wisher. Let's take a look at our keys of the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza in Newport, Ohio. First, taking a look for the Raiders. Today really wants to be able to limit the turnovers. You want to be able to rebound because they have a size advantage, and they also want to get off to a good start with their youth and make sure their depth is in place here tonight. And taking a look at keys to the game for Botkins, they want to limit Ronnie Poling. Expect when Ronnie touches the ball to get about 2-3 defenders of Botkins crashing down on her. They want to control the pace of play here and be able to rebound here with the Raiders' size advantage here tonight. So both teams starting freshmen here tonight as Poling wins the tip. Both teams starting freshmen in the starting lineups here. As Addison Shappy with the basketball as the Raiders won the tip. Francis with it, gets it up to Poling. Poling over to Addison Shappy, 20 seconds burn off this clock. Goes over to Claudia Haney. Haney looking. Borchers trying to go on the inside, kicks it out over to Ronnie Poling. Anytime Ronnie gets that ball, it's going to get a lot of attention, as Coach Carson talked about in this Keyhole Pizza keys to the game. Raiders on the exchange. Celeste Borchers with the basketball. 42nd first possession for Ruschi. Haney on the high post, trying to drive on that inside. Botkins doing good job on help side defense in the lane. Teardrop good as Addison Shappy kicks off the scoring.
Shappy.
And the Raiders lead 2-0 here, a minute in on the First National Bank first scoreboard. Flatfoot with the basketball, goes over to Jana Metz. Metz got some playing time off that JV team last year, over to Pitts. Pitts, a furious downhill guard. Deep three, Flatfoot, Janelle Flatfoot, no good. Rebound cleared by Ronnie Poling. Coach Michael Bayshore shouting out the instructions. I wonder when Camden Paul plays here tonight. We'll see if her minutes are still limited coming off that ankle injury. Both teams suffering some key injuries early on in the year. Haney fakes on the inside, shot too much. Pitts clears the boards. Pitts working up that right side, trying to work the break. Pitts gonna work downhill against the freshman Francis, kicks it out. Goes over and gets that ball swiped away by Celeste Borchers. Borchers takes it up across the timeline. Borchers clears out that left side. Borchers has been playing the JV position, but due to the injuries, there's been forced to move people around, and Poling tried to go on the high-low. Deflected off of Addison Shappy, who was going on the baseline, and it'll be Botkins basketball 2 minutes in. It's a 2-0 Ruschi lead here over the Botkins Trojans. Pitts with the basketball. Pitts is going to get a hand check foul from Celeste Borchers. That'll be the team's first.
Ruschi's number 22, Celeste Borchers, that's her first and team's first.
Box formation here from the Trojans. Metz goes out to Fry. Madeline Fry, the freshman. Gets it up over to fellow freshman, Flatfoot. Flatfoot gets it broke up, and Flatfoot regains possession here. Flatfoot over to Jana Metz on that right wing. Gets that ball stolen away. It's Addison Shappy. She goes to the left side, trying to convert on the layup, and she does. Addison Shappy has grown so well for this Raiders team in the early going here in this year, and they've needed it as they've struggled to score at times from a guard standpoint. And it's a 4-0 Raider lead. Metz on the inside, gets her shot partially blocked. Haney with the board. And Shappy will bring it up for the Raiders. They go to that left side over to Hazel Francis. Francis tried to get it into Poling. It's Pitts who swipes it away for Botkins. Pitts brings it across the timeline, goes that left side over to Flatfoot. Trying to work on that inside, gets it broken up and in the arms of Shappy. Shappy up ahead, trying to kick it up ahead to Hazel Francis, who can't corral it. Just didn't get wide enough on that fast break as you tell your guards to get out wide to try to create a passing lane there to the basket. As Botkins looks to get on the board here, they've been held scoreless nearly 3.5 minutes into this contest. 2 Addison Shappy buckets the difference. Here the Raiders break up their pick and roll here from the Trojans. Shappy brings it up for Rushi. They clear that left side out. They try to go get a ball screen from Haney. Poling, looking on that high-low, goes back out over to Hazel Francis. Francis drives, kicks out to Haney. Haney rotates over to Celeste Borchers. Borchers rotates out, and a hand check foul going to be called against Madeline Fry.
That foul called on Botkins, number 22.
It's the first foul of the quarter against Botkins. Raiders will take it side out right in front of the Trojan bench, right in front of Mulaney Maurer, who again, we said at the top of the broadcast, tore her ACL. A pretty good sharpshooter for Botkins. Devastating to see her out. It's hard to see injuries happen, especially in high school sports. Exchange off to Hazel Francis, kisses it off the glass. Hazel Francis gets in the box score. Nice offensive draw up there by Coach Michael Bayshore. And the Raiders bolt out to a 6-0 lead. Reagan McFerron will come in at the next dead ball. Faith York will come in for the Raiders. As Coach Bayshore's really had to dig into that JV roster. You knew this was a pretty young Raider roster anyway. And the Raiders just having to dig further and further into it. Tipped out by Celeste Borchers as McFerron, the senior, comes in for Botkins, and in for Rushi is Faith York and Kylie Dosek, both sophomores. McFerron is senior
Kylie Dosek,
on
and
this
number 14,
roster.
Faith York.
Plattfoot, and Plattfoot had her own serious injury. She broke her hand last year. Came back and got a play in tournament time. For Pitts, attacks downhill, but swatted by Poling, and it hit off of Pitts. Coach Carson asking for an explanation. Botkins now going to pick up in the three-quarter court. A little light backcourt pressure here on Addison Shappy. Shappy works. Shappy tries to get into Poling through traffic, and there's three Botkins players converging all of a sudden in on Poling, and they get the turnover there. Pitts on the inside. Pitts trying to get through York and draws the foul, and quickly Camden Paul off the bench and said she might have a minute's restriction there. Don't really know the status. She was not listed in the starting lineup, but going to come in here and will definitely add another dimension to this Botkins offense, who has struggled here in the first 5 minutes as Pitts gets him on the board. Botkins has shot 54% as a team from the charity stripe this year. As Paul back in the lineup, a 4-year player on varsity. I'll never forget the first time I seen her play in a sectional tournament game against Rushi. Wowed by the freshman with her effort. And she's been a nice player for Botkins over the year. Hopefully she gets up to full 100% health here soon, as Pitts hits both free throws. And Botkins cracks the scoring column here. Shappy with 4 points over to Kylie Dosek. Dosek on that left side to Hazel Francis. Francis driving. Francis in the lane, stops, gives it over to York. York to an unsuspecting Shappy, trying to get around the defense. Francis kicks it out to York. 3 from the right wing, off the mark. Weak side rebound Poling, off the mark. Kylie Dosek stepping on the baseline over Botkins basketball with 2:34 to go here in the first quarter.
Substitution back into the game for the Trojans, number 10,
Janelle Plattfoot coming in for Jana Metz. Off that short breather. Check it out, and Celeste Borchers will come in.
Checking in for the Raiders, number 22, Celeste Borchers.
Botkins working it around. Pitts over to McFerrin. McFerrin over to Camden Paul. Paul to Plattfoot. Botkins moving it around really well this possession. Looking to get an open look, and it results in a turnover. Hazel Francis, the freshman, goes to that left side and puts it in. Man, Botkins have a good ball movement there. You like to see that continue, even though it resulted in a turnover there. And they go with a really small lineup here with Metz and Fry on the bench. McFerrin beelines to the basket, gives it up to Plattfoot. 15-footers, no good. Rebound cleared by Ronnie Poling, who is yet to score. Francis with 4, over to Kylie Dosek on the inside. Nice quick movement by Francis to get it to Dosek. And Kylie Dosek, the sophomore, will shoot the pair.
20, Reagan McFerrin, that's her first and team second.
Kylie Kylie Dosek, sophomore, at the line, and it rattles home.
At the line for the Raiders, number 10,
Coming
Kylie
in,
Dosek.
Madeline Fry for
Checking
Botkins.
in for the Trojans, number 22, Maddie Fry.
Addison Shappy back in for the Raiders. Claudia Haney going to be in for the shooter Dosek. As Dosek splits the pair, it rattles around and goes down over to Botkins. Platfoot, over to Camden Paul, wide open left wing, shot no good. Rebound caroms down to the Raiders. Here's got to learn to not leave her open. She'll make you pay from the outside. A very good outside shooter, even maybe with the limited weight on that ankle while playing. She can still hurt you from the outside, Can Camden Paul. Ronnie Poling with the basketball, and there's a foul against Platfoot. Claudia Haney will now come in for Kylie Dosek. Botkins trying to notch their first win for Aroostook since December 2021. These teams have met 3 years in a row in the district semifinals at
Checking in
Sydney.
for the Trojans, number 32, Jana Metz.
The Raiders have taken all those victories in the district semis. The Raiders were district runner-ups in 2021 and 22 and made the regional semis last season. There's a travel by Hazel Francis. It'll be Botkins' ball.
Substitution back into the game for Aroostook, number 10, Kylie Dosek.
Kylie Dosek going to come back in after a short breather. Give Ronnie Poling a little bit of a breather there, as you know she's going to get a lot of attention. Botkins needing a big basket here. Platfoot trying to get the exchange for her sister Janelle. Raiders been furious on defense this quarter. Scrum on the floor, the Raiders come away with it. Jana Metz retreats on defense as Faith York brings it up. A lot of youth on this floor for the Raiders. No seniors right now on the floor. Three sophomores, a freshman, and a junior. Quick breather for Poling as she's back in for Kylie Dosek. Offensive purposes here. Coach Bayshore, an experienced coach, coached varsity boys at Fort Recovery in Greenville in his first season, taking over for Paul Bremagen. York drives on the inside. Francis from beyond the arc, three-pointer off the front of the iron, and a bad foul by Ronnie Poling. Not what Coach Bayshore wanted to see from his star senior. And that'll be the third team foul there. Exactly what you want to see if you're Botkins to get a foul on Poling there in that situation. And the Raiders come up with an empty possession. Botkins might hold for one possession here. Arrow favors them going in the second quarter. Platfoot in exchange with the fellow freshman Fry. On the inside, Metz rolls to the basket. She's fouled and they'll shoot two. Jana Metz with 2 free tosses. Botkins yet to muster a field goal. Their 2 points come from Delana Pitts. It's 2 free throws as Lacey Flippo will go to the scores table and check in after this free throw attempt from Metz. It's at the line. Cans the first one. And come in for Faith York.
Checking in for the Raiders, number 12, Lacey Flippo.
Metz a 5'7" junior. And Botkins 4 of 4 from the charity stripe here this first quarter. That's where all their points have come from. Raiders looking to get it in. They get it into Hazel Francis. Francis working up ahead quickly.
That foul call on Botkins, number 10, Janelle Platfoot.
Reagan McFerrin fiercely runs to the scores table quickly.
Checking in for the Trojans, number 20, Reagan McFerrin.
Here's with 9.9 seconds to do something here this opening quarter here on NK Telco Sports. Glad you could join us here from the Coliseum, one of the best venues to watch a high school basketball game. And there's a foul. And they're going to say Hazel Francis is going to go shoot 2. We had Carter Plyman be honored here last night on NK Telco Sports, become the 9th guy in school history to score over 1,000 points. We had him here for an interview on NK Telco as he did the game with Dave Helmstetter against Botkins. An impressive Botkins win. The boys team has been awfully impressive as Hazel Francis hits the first free throw. There's 5 girls that have their number retired, one of them being assistant coach Sarah Bergman, a 2018 graduate of Botkins High School, now an assistant. As Hazel Francis going to cap off a great first quarter with 6 points for her. Botkins got to work quickly. Plattfoot up the floor is going to get a decent look at the horn, and a nice job. Plattfoot. Peyton Plattfoot races the length of the floor in 4.6 seconds and 11 seconds. Rushi lead over Botkins. We'll step aside, come back with the second quarter of action next on
Starts the second quarter with basketball.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Back here in NK Telco Sports, big resounding close to that first quarter by Botkins. They get Peyton Plattfoot to go the length of the floor in that situation to score, and Botkins gets the ball to start the second quarter. That's their first field goal of the quarter. They had 2 free throws made from Metz and Pitts. And an 11-6 Rushi lead going into the second quarter, and not the best start for Botkins as they let the ball go through their legs and turn it over to the Raiders. Shappy with the basketball, goes left side. She had 4 that first quarter, 6 from Hazel Francis. Ball ripped away by Jana Metz. What a hustle play by the junior Metz. Nearly turns it over. McFerrin long 3, it pops out. Celeste Borchers will get it. Over to Francis, gets around the defense, rattles out, going up to Poling. Gets a reach from Metz. Poling has not got a clean touch here tonight. We talked about in the keys to the game, brought to you by Hero Pizza, that it was a furious, really focal point of Coach Tyler Carson to limit Poling's touch. She's doubled on the inbound. She's not even going to get a clean touch. They're going to inbound it to Poling. Poling looking to go with Metz one-on-one, banging to the basket. Shot up, no good. Rebound cleared by Metz. Great defense by the Trojans on that possession. Plattfoot spins in the lane, trying to find Fry, and she dragged the pivot foot, and it'll be Rushi basketball. 59 seconds burned in this second quarter. It's an 11-6 Rushi Raider lead over the Botkins Trojans here on NK Telco Sports. Glad you can join us. My name's Brandon Coverman. This Shelby County battle. Raiders 2-1 in league play. Botkins 1-2. Rushi fell to Jackson Center early. Botkins has lost to Larmy and Jackson Center. Addison Shappy gets the basketball. Thought about a 3. Kicks it out to Hazel Francis. Francis to Haney. Haney turn around 10-footer. No good. Rebound goes down to Plattfoot. Plattfoot goes up over to the senior McFerrin. McFerrin tried to get on the inside. It's a turnover. Haney with the basketball. Haney beelines passing a foul by Pitts. And Coach Carson wanting a jump ball. Haney should have found Poling flashing to the basket.
Botkins number 12, Gigi Pitts. That's her first.
The Raiders will go to the free throw line for the 3rd time in this contest. Haney's first free throw barely clips the line.
Raiders number 3, Claudia Haney.
Number 24,
Checking in for the Trojans, number 24, Sophie Braun.
Botkins, a 5'7" junior who played well in that JV contest. Used up a couple quarters, scored 7 points in that first quarter alone, and an empty trip for Haney to the line. Rebound down to Poling. It'll stay Raider basketball. Raiders in their road blue, Botkins in their home whites. No score yet this second quarter, as we're a little over a minute and a half in the quarter. Raiders trying to get the basketball in. They'll get it into Addison Shappy on the arc. Near carry there for Shappy. She probably got away with it. Haney on the inside. Haney over to Hazel Francis. Kicks it out to Addison Shappy. Celeste Borcher sitting there wide open in the corner.
Out of bounds, Botkins basketball.
Raiders fail to rotate there. And that'll be a turnover. Kylie Dosek will come in the next dead ball for the Raiders. We've seen Camden Paul get a little bit of playing time. Again, her time still limited coming back from that ankle injury. Pitts gets the ball up over to Fry. Her shot rattles out. Rebound down to Celeste Borchers. Borchers has got Pitts trailing right behind her. Ball turned back over to Reagan McFerrin. McFerrin walked. And it's been a sloppy start to the second quarter on both sides. A lot of turnovers.
Substitution into the game for Rushi number 10, Kylie Dosek.
Shappy across the timeline. Shappy looking, gets it to Borchers in the corner. Borchers trying to get it, pulling a look. Getting on Metz there. Haven't seen Ronnie Pulling get maybe not only one shot attempt here so far. Shappy trying to drive, gives up to Dosek, 10-footer. Kylie Dosek swishes it. She's got 3 off the assist from Addison Shappy, and the Raider lead up to the tie of a game high 7. 13-6. Janelle Plattfoot will be in next dead ball for Botkins. Pitts goes behind the back, trying to get around the freshman Celeste Borchers. And she 5-second counts and say that or a hold. It's going to be called, and it is.
Substitution back into the game for the Trojans, number 10, Janelle Plattfoot.
Coach Michael Bayshore shouting out the instructions here for his team as they hold a 7-point lead. Addison Shappy with the basketball. Gives it up over to Kylie Dosek. Dosek lob over on the inside to Hazel Francis. Botkins furious defense on this possession. Back to Borchers. Borchers to Shappy. Thought about a 3. Shappy, the Raiders' most lethal 3-point shooter. Have not seen him take one from beyond the arc yet here in this ball game. And we got a 3 seconds in the over as Faith York comes back in the lineup for the Raiders. Botkins goes up to Braun. Braun on the arc. Braun will pull the trigger. Good 3-point shooter. No good. Offensive board Metz. And loses the basketball. Tried to go up against Poling there and lost it. Hazel Francis with the basketball. 6 points for the freshman. The freshman trying to get to the basket. Kisses it off the glass and good. Hazel Francis with 8 points this half. And the Raiders now have a game high 9-point lead. Pitts, turnaround shot, no good. Rebound going to carry him down to Faith York. York goes on that right side to Borchers. She gets a shot fake. Teardrop in the lane, and the ball almost rolled in. As Celeste Borchers will go shoot 2.
That foul called Botkins, number 12, Dee Dee Pitts. That's her second, and Keith's third.
At the line, and the Raiders struggles from the
At the
charity
line for the
strike.
Raiders, number 22, Celeste Borchers. Checking into the game for Botkins, number 2, Camden Paul. Number 3, Peyton Plattfoot. And checking in for the Raiders, number 3, Claudia Haney.
Fry checks back in, and Plattfoot and Camden Paul checks in, for Botkins. Checking in for the Raiders, Claudia Haney and Addison Shappy. As Celeste Borchers hits and splits from the line. And a 16-6 lead here for the Raiders. We got a precision strip timeout here by Coach Tyler Carson. And we'd like to remind you that our additional sponsors are Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, the Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veterans Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Keel Pizza. This timeout's brought to you by Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which we'll select for the winning team, will be brought to you by NK Telco, and our mid and post-game stats are powered by Grand Lake Health Systems. NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on the NK Telco cable or NKT.TV app. You can catch the replay on channel 154, December 18th at 6 p.m. or in Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, December 29th at 8 p.m. and December 30th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Back here on NK Telco, and it's a 16-6 Russia lead over Botkins out the precision strip timeout. Paul, three-pointer, wide open, shot no good. Botkins has only been able to muster one field goal here through a quarter and a half of play. Celeste Borchers with the basketball. Botkins going to trap the wings. Nearly get a turnover. Unsuspecting Addison Shappy does not see the basketball come from Faith Ork. Is picked off by Camden Paul. Goes down to that left side to Plattfoot. Miscommunication from Botkins, and it's another turnover. Celeste Borchers with the basketball. Substitutions will come in for each side here after the next dead ball. Raiders get the ball up over to York. York back to Borchers. Borchers. This ball up over to Haney. Haney trying to drive to the basket. Too hard off the glass. Rebound down to Janelle Plattfoot. Plattfoot back to Camden Paul. The seniors play a little pitch and catch. Plattfoot trying to get it to Braun. Plattfoot on the exchange, it's picked off. Another Botkins turnover, struggling to take care of the basketball, and we got a 30-second timeout. All timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. Russia ahead 16-6 on Botkins here on the Coast of Sports. Here at NK Telco Sports, out the Precision Strip timeout. Raiders turn the basketball over to Botkins, out the timeout. Not what Coach Bayshore wanted to see. Plattfoot gonna fire to the three, in and out. Rebound caroms down to Ronnie Poland. Shappy. It's on the screen over to Celeste Borchers. It's on the screen over to Shappy. They get her a look. Bullseye. Addison Shappy from beyond the arc on the right wing. Nails it. And that's the first three-pointer the Raiders have taken today. Plattfoot might have got away with a travel. And the Raiders get the rebound. Francis goes out right side, spins back in the lane. Back over to Shappy. Shappy rotates the basketball to Ronnie Poling, who's scoreless yet. The Raiders with a 13-point lead. Camden Paul going to be called foul. It's the 14th foul. Raiders will shoot free throws the rest of this half. Shappy gets the inbound as the clock continues to roll here. Borchers with the basketball, double team furiously. Back over to Addison Shappy. Ronnie Poling open in the cross court. Nice job by Botkins to tip the basketball. Borchers to the basket. What a play. Celeste Borchers to the hole, through the contact, scores. And the Raiders with a 15-point advantage. Plattfoot loses the basketball. 41 seconds to go. Over, Plattfoot tried to go into Metz on the inside. Metz up and is fouled by Poling. It's her second. As Ronnie's picked up both her fouls late, deep in each quarter.
line for the Trojans, number 32, Jana Metz.
And Raiders, again, at 21 points. Ronnie Pulling yet to score. And talked about that being a focal point. The Raiders have gotten good contributions from Hazel Francis and Addison Shappy.
Substitution back into the game for the Raiders, number 10,
She might take a seat the rest of the first half
Kylie
to protect her from any potential third foul. Raiders trying to stride back to that 500 mark. Their next day is the Shelby County Athletic League contest with Anna. As Metz hits the free throw, she's got 3 all from the line. 1 field goal for Botkins this half that they've been able to muster. Run and jump here from Botkins. Francis gets the pressure over to Dosek. Dosek back out to Francis. Hazel Francis cross court pass to Haney. Haney through the lane and scores. Claudia Haney gets in the box score. It's a 23-7 Raider lead. Paul gonna fire the deep 3 off the front of the iron. Haney clears the boards. Raiders gotta work quickly. 4 seconds. Shappy gonna stop, pop at the horn, and it just rattles out. Raiders end on a little bit of a run, though. They win that quarter 12-1 over Botkins. We'll go into the halftime break. Russia ahead on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard 23-7. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors here next on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back to the Coliseum here at Botkins High School. Through one half of play, the Russia Raiders lead the Botkins Trojans 23-7. Let's take a look at our box score powered by Grand Lake Health Systems. First, take a look at the visiting Raiders. They were led that first half by Hazel Francis with 8. Addison Shappy chipped in 7. They had 3 apiece from Kylie Dosek and Celeste Borchers and 2 from Claudia Haney. Botkins was led with 3 points from Jana Metz and 2 for Jolene Pitts. Peyton Platfoot. Scoring after quarters, Russia led 11-6 after 1, and it was 23-7 at the end of the half. As it stands now, and it'll be Botkins basketball to start in the second half. Here, just a game that really, as you see, Ronnie Poling has not even scored yet for the Raiders. So if you're a Russia fan watching this game, and you know the attention that Ronnie Poling's going to bring with how youthful this Raiders team is, and the injuries that they've had, and really the injuries on both sides are part of this story of this game day. Camden Paul's been coming back and playing limited minutes, and Millennium hours out this season for Botkins. But for Russia, not having 2 normal stars in Jayla Shappy and Shay Hammonds, you think more attention would go to Ronnie Poling, but they've had some players step up in Addison Shappy, who's just continued to improve all year. Hazel Francis with 8 points and a quick foul on Celeste Borchers, a reach called, and that's her second.
Celeste Borchers, that's her second, and team's first.
Celeste Borchers, it says on the board, has 5. Shot up and good. 3-pointer for Janelle Platfoot with a huge 3-pointer. That would be 5. It's a turnover. And a great start for Botkins to start the second half. It's going to be a turnover on Botkins' end. Much needed basket by Botkins out the half. Only one field goal that entire first half. They had 6 free throws made. They were 6 of 7 from the line. They did shoot from the charity stripe really well, but obviously we know just making free throws isn't going to win you ball games. And hitting a shot like that, huge start for Botkins, is they're going to force almost a Raider turnover. It's going to be a foul on Plattfoot. Mullen. Celeste Porcher's over. Credit too, both these boys teams right now, both these boys teams undefeated on the season, top the Shelby County League. They collide for a big showdown here January 2nd here at the Coliseum right after the beginning of the new year. Game that'll be on NK Telco Sports to determine who's going to be in first place probably after the first round of league play here on NK Telco Sports. Shappy on the inside, take to the basket, no good. Weak side rebound, no good for Haney. That'll be a massive showdown against two of the top teams in the Shelby County League. Pitts turns around, no good. Rebound, going to be a jump ball. It's going to be Raider basketball.
That's a jump ball, that'll be Rushi basketball.
Botkins got to pick up in the full court. Raiders will inbound it over to Poling. Poling will flip it back to Celeste Borchers, and Botkins will drop out. Let's see if they go to maybe a run and jump, and they do. Get it over to Celeste Borchers, 18-footer, she can't bury it. Rebound caroms down to Plattfoot. Peyton Plattfoot, freshman, up the floor, gives it to Janelle Plattfoot. Thought about a 3, cross-court pass Pitts. She takes a deep 2, short, but it's kind of like a pass to Jana Metz. Right place, right time was Jana Metz, and a 5-0 Botkins run to start the half. And the Raiders with a careless turnover. And Coach Bayshore wants to talk about it. Botkins big start in the second half, 5 straight points of personal turnover, 23-12 here on NK Telco.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Back here at the precision strip, timeout. A 16-point lead's been trimmed down to 11 as Coach Michael Bayshore took the precision strip timeout. Janelle Plattfoot trying to keep the momentum going, and it goes for Botkins. Janelle Plattfoot with a big three-pointer. And now what was a 16-point lead is now trimmed down to 8. Botkins was only able to muster 8 points, or 7 points the whole first half. It now has 8 in the first 2 minutes of the second quarter. Try to get the ball on the inside to Poling. One thing we didn't see the whole first half was any baskets from Ronnie Poling, and she gets her first of the game here on a high-low feed. And the Raiders increase the lead back to double digits. Ball up to Pitts. This Botkins offense running on pure adrenaline right now. Offensive rebound. Metz loses it. I think it deflected off of York last. It did. Botkins will take it right in the deep corner from the JV team, who won 30-15 over the Raiders. Pitts downhill, and that's when she's best, just attacking downhill. Full head of steam for Delana Pitts. You know, they call her DD Pitts over here.
The foul on Rushi's number 10, Kylie Dosak. That's her first and team second. At the line for the Trojans, number 12, DD Pitts.
Pitts misses the first free throw. She hit 2 free throws earlier in the first half. Again, Botkins coming in at 54%. They shot from the line pretty well the first half, and Pitts comes empty there. Poling clears the board and try to work it up ahead over to her cousin Faith York. York cross-court pass to Hazel Francis, who gives a shot fake. Francis in the lane, and she'll go to the line and shoot 2. 5:01 to go here in the third quarter. Our score, Rushi 25, Botkins 15 on that First National Bank, think first scoreboard. Hazel Francis at the line, who had 8 points that first half. The freshman gets the friendly guest roll, and Celeste Borchers comes in. We got 3 sets of cousins. We got a couple sets of cousins here on this team. Ronnie Poling, Faith York, and Claudia Haney are all cousins. You got the Flippo sisters on the bench right now as Francis hits the 2 free throws. Kylie Dosek and Jayla Shappy are cousins. Jayla Shappy and Addison Shappy are cousins. Celeste Borchers, Hazel Francis are cousins. So a lot of family affair on this Raider varsity squad. Kind of one of the obscure facts, so to speak, as Hazel Francis hits both free throws from the turnover by Botkins. Trying to maximize that momentum they had. Camden Paul back in again in limited minutes for Camden. Botkins will pick back up in the full court. They'll bounce it into York, over to Dosek. Dosek gets it tracked down from behind by Pitts. And Coach Bayshore wanted a travel call. Pitts, full head of steam down in the lane, gets that shot blocked by Poling. Coach Bayshore telling Hazel Francis to go get the basketball. Gets a screen to the basket, can't finish. Dosek up, no foul called. Rebound down to Pitts. Rushi misses a golden opportunity on the inside to strike. Pitts in the corner, Plattfoot. Plattfoot driving, kicks it out, Camden Paul. Paul trying to give it up. York tries to break it up, Plattfoot, and there's going to be a timeout by Coach Tyler Carson. All timeouts this year on NK Togo are brought to you by Precision Strip, our fine sponsor here on NK Telco Sports, as we would like to thank our sponsors: Carriage Works, Tooltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity Healsman Automotive, Kobe Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, the St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. To remind you, NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app on Channel 154, December 18th at 6 p.m. On Channel 3 and HD on Channel 503, December 29th at 8 p.m. December 30th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. 27-15 Rushi out of the Precision Strip timeout as the Trojans are fouled.
The foul called on Rushi's number 32, Hazel Francis. That's her first.
That's her first. Team's third. Francis in double figures has been having a great night for the Raiders. Ball tracked down by Camden Paul. In limited minutes and that ankle injury. You can tell maybe not quite 100%, not quite as active as she usually is. Pitts trying to
call out on
Botkins. Oh, maybe Faith York got called in the reach. It's an interesting call there. I thought York reached, or say maybe Pitts hooked. She tried to position up the post. Tough call, tough break for Botkins. Not one to go their way. For sure, here comes the run and jump. York sees the pressure. Over to Celeste Borchers. She takes one dribble to the basket, tries to finish, and she's fouled and will go to the line for 2.
That foul was called Botkins, number 12, Delaney Pitts. That's her fourth.
Pitts is the third. A little bit of foul trouble creeping up now for Botkins. Sophie Braun, excuse me, sorry, Grace Gutman will go to the scores table. Borchers at the line, cans the first free throw. Borchers up to 4 points now.
Substitution into the game for the Trojans, number 11, Grace Gutman at the line for Rushi. Number 22, Celeste Borchers.
Borchers at the line, looking to go a perfect 2 for 2, and she gets a friendly roll. Celeste Borchers up to 5 now on the night. Camden Paul calling for the ball. Tried to get it from Peyton Plattfoot, and there's the reach called there on Celeste Borchers.
That's our call. Rushi, number 22, Celeste Borchers. That's her third and team's fourth. Checking in for the Raiders, number 21, Addison Shappy.
Addison Shappy going to come in for Celeste Borchurch, who's played well. Again, a lot of these girls being brought up from the JV roster. And Faith York, Celeste Borchers, and Kylie Dosek due to the slew of injuries the Raiders have had. And Plattfoot, beautiful spin move. Boy. Peyton Plattfoot, excuse me, the freshman, and puts the Raider in a spin cycle there. And here comes the run and jump from Botkins. Francis trying to get her out that corner. Double team. Haney's wide open under the basket. Raiders too late to realize it. York trying to drive on that inside. Dishes it to Francis. Francis back to York, over to Addison Shappy. Addison goes to the left side to Claudia Haney. Tries to go that high-low, pulling. Bounces down to her. She tries to do that patented power move that she has, and is fouled. Foul going to go on Jana Metz.
That's number 32, Jana Metz.
That's not happy about that. Said she walled up. That's what basketball coaches like to say, wall up. They're straight up, and they're not making contact. Pulling, high arcing free throw. She's become a better free throw shooter this year. Kylie Dosek will check in for pulling here at the next dead ball, and Madeline Fry will come back in for the Trojans here as pulling swishes both of them. 31-17 our score now. Botkins trimming back within 8. Raiders ever since have been able to lift the lead up. It's a 31-17 lead here. Plattfoot looking to go to that right side, tipped. Goes back out to Gutman. Gutman over to Fry. Fry trying to go on the inside, back out to Camden Paul, who's been held scoreless in her limited time here today. Plattfoot on the inside. Plattfoot to the basket. Gets contact and will shoot 2. Foul's been ticking up a little bit this quarter. Both teams at 5, so we'll shoot bonus the rest of this quarter on defensive fouls. It's the second foul on Haney. Sophie Braun will come in.
Checking in for the Trojans, number 24,
had a
Sophie
really nice
Braun.
game in the junior varsity contest that was won by Botkins. Plattfoot trying to split from the line, and she does. Janelle Plattfoot now up to 7 points to lead the Trojans here tonight. Trojans going to pick back up in the three-quarter court pressure, and Coach Basor says just clear it out. Hazel Francis full steam ahead to the basket, too hard on the shot. Rebound caroms down to Janelle Plattfoot. Camden Paul bring it up. She runs the show for this Botkins team. Puts the ball up over to Sophie Braun. Exchange shot. Fry cans it. Foul line jumper for Maddie Fry, and we've seen a little display of the freshman from Botkins this quarter in Fry and Peyton Plattfoot. Get a couple baskets, and the lead is shaved down into 11. Rushi getting some pressure. Haney over to a wide open Dosek through her hands. Raiders regain possession. Coach Bayshore telling Francis to go get the basketball. She has a game-high 10 with 1:16 to go in the third quarter. She's guarded by Sophie Braun. We'll get a little bit of pressure here. We'll go back to York. York gets a little bit of that run jump pressure. Francis shot fakes in the lane. That's her spot, and it falls. That little, right where the SCAL is right there, that's Hazel Francis' spot. When she's wide open, she can shoot that shot very well at a high clip. And she brings the Raider lead out to 13. On the inside, shot up, no good for Gutman, but she'll shoot 2. She was hacked.
That foul called on Rushi's number 3, Claudia Haney. That's her second.
Foul going to go against Haney.
At the line for the Trojans, number 11, Grace Gutman.
First free throw, no good. Reagan
Into the game,
McFerrin
the
coming back
Trojans,
in.
number 20, Reagan McFerrin.
Gutman shot up, and it rattles out. Tough free throw shooting this quarter for Botkins after it was really good the first half, but fortunately for the Trojans, it will stay with them. Jana Metz will sub back in quickly
Substitution
for
back
Gutman.
into the game for the Trojans, number 32, Jana Metz.
Ball deflected by Francis. Staying right with the freshman, Camden Paul. Again, like I said, Paul playing with that limited health. We've stated that multiple times throughout this broadcast. Braun tries to get on the inside to Metz. Gets it out to Fry. Fry on the inside gets that ball broken up. It goes to Hazel Francis. She darts out ahead like a rabbit and takes it the other way. Hazel Francis, right place, right time. And Hazel Francis, this freshman, has impressed throughout this year. And the Raider lead back up to 15. Metz to the basket, no good. Fry puts it back in the cleanup. Madeline Fry has showed up this third quarter with 4 points. Raiders got to go quickly. They've only got 6 seconds to work with. Up head quickly to Francis, swatted away. Nobody will get a shot off to end the quarter. And we head to the fourth. Raiders hold a 35-22 edge over Botkins. We'll head to the fourth quarter. We'll come back next.
22, Rushi 35.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Back here on NK Telco Sports, our score right now is Botkins 22, Rushi 35, beginning of the fourth quarter. As Botkins starts with the basketball, Metz trying to drive on the inside. Botkins is able to shave the lead down to 7, but the Raiders were able to grow it out to as high as 15 again before it resulted in a Rushi 13-point lead here. 3 from Celeste. Borchers rattles out. Raiders try to keep it alive. It'll go to Botkins. Plattfoot will bring it up. Plattfoot goes that right side, trying to get through Poling. Gets it out to Madeline Fry. Fry, the quickness of the freshman, shot no good. It rattles out. Metz clears the boards. Kicks it out. McPherson looking to shoot. Splits it on the inside to Metz. Oh, and a foul is called. Jana Metz had been working hard. And Poling was hoping that she'd get a clean block, but she did swat through with the right hand. And a good foul call there by the official. That's Ronnie Poling's third. Delana Pitts back on the fourth block, and she also has 3 as Metz hit a few free throws at the line. And Botkins' second half free throw struggle continue after it was really good in the first half. Was the only source of offense they had in the first half. They had 1 field goal the entire first half. Metz at the line, dips her knees, fires, and the junior splits it. She's got 6.
Substitution back into the
Janelle
game
Plattfoot
for the
back
Trojans,
in.
number 10, Janelle Plattfoot.
Botkins gonna not do any full court pressure. Let's see if they stick with a run and jump here maybe. As Hazel Francis brings the basketball up, and here it comes. Francis loses it to Madeline Fry. And Pitts with the basketball, trying to possibly trim the lead down to single digits with a made 3. It's coming up here from Plattfoot. It's off the iron, no good. It'll be tracked down to the corner, and it'll be Raider basketball. 6:54 to go here, fourth quarter. 35-23, Rushietta Botkins on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. My name's Brandon Coverman. Glad you can join us here for the Shelby County Battle. If you want to check out the Russia boys here tonight, if you're a Russia fan, they will be playing Minster at the Clare C. You can catch that game here on NK Telco Sports for your pay-per-view pleasure. Jeff Hinchin and Tanya Hammonds will be on the call for that game. York tries to get it to Dosek on the high-low. Tried to get it to Dosek, or tried to get, to pulling, and Plattfoot swipes it away. Pitts driving in the lane. Pitts looking, kicks it out over to Plattfoot. Plattfoot driving, gets it out to Peyton Plattfoot. And just dribbled off the leg of Madeline Fry, who's really played better this second half.
Substitution back into the game for the Trojans. Number 2, Camden Paul.
They're just going to bring in Addison Shappy next dead ball as Botkins is amping up the pressure, feeling the need here too with nearly 6 minutes to go and trailing by a dozen. Borchers wanted to go to her cousin Hazel Francis on the backdoor cut. It does work around to Francis from Faith York. Francis trying to drive on the inside. Francis' shot no good. Pulling, cleanup, no good. Ronnie Pulling's had limited touches at the basket. And Faith York going to be called for the foul.
Foul call on Rooshi's number 14, Faith York. That's her
Foul
third and team's second.
for the Raiders. York's third. Paul slowly walks it up. A lot of options here. And it's going to be a reach foul called on Dosek. So something working in Botkin's favor here. Rushi with 3 team fouls with 5:43 to go. We know Botkins hasn't shot the free throw well here in the second half. But something working in their favor. If they can score with stalled time, that's going to work huge in the Trojans' favor. They try to work back from a 12-point deficit. 5:33 to go. Pitts. On the inside, it's taken away. Now if you're Rushi, try to milk some clock here and get a score here. Botkins has mixed up defenses all afternoon. Dosek gets some pressure over to Francis. Here's the double team. Francis over to Borchers. Wide open Shappy. She thought about pulling the trigger on the 3. Gives it over to Hazel Francis. 17-footer rattles out. And Dosek got away with what could have been a foul. They try to get the ball up to Paul and like an unsuspecting defensive back. Borchers breaks it up with exactly 5 minutes to go.
Number 24, Sophie Braun.
35-23, Rushi ahead of Botkins. Botkins trying to get Metz open. Get it back over to Sophie Braun. Braun to Camden Paul. Paul's going to pull the trigger. Off the front of the iron, no good. Rough shooting from beyond the arc continues for the Trojans here today. Hazel Francis brings the ball up the floor, splits defenders down the lane, not afraid to shoot, gets the ball up, shot no good. Karem's down to Pulling, and the Raiders, Coach Bayshore is saying, Ronnie, make the shot, Ronnie, finish. As the Raiders and Pulling's just had a tough shooting day with the limited chances she's had. Raiders have struggled to finish around the rim here at times today. Shot deflected there by Celeste Borchers. The length of Celeste Borchers a factor, especially in guard play. You talk about taller guards, they can see the floor better, they can defend the arc better. As Francis brings on the inside, Shappy thought about a 3. Calling for a ball screen, maybe see what they can do off a pick and roll here. They give it out to Francis. Francis on that right wing, hesitation, dribble to the basket, no. Francis has been aggressive as missed her last few attempts. Cross-court pass over to Plattfoot, back to Camden Paul. Under 4 minutes to go. Botkins trying to shave the lead to single digits. They can with a made 3 by Braun. It's no good. Karem's down on the floor. Coach Carson's not going to get the timeout he wanted. It's a jump ball. Arrow favors the Raiders as Claudia Haney and Faith York will come in. Madeline Fry will come back in for Paul. That might be all she wrote for the day for Camden Paul with the limited minutes with the ankle injury.
Number 22, Madeline Fry.
Coach Tyler Carson wants that full timeout. We'll take it with them. All timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. 3:40 to go. Rushi ahead 35-23 out of the Botkins Trojans on NK Telco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Out the precision strip timeout, 3:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Russia holds in a dozen-point lead, 35-23 here on the Botkins Trojans. Hazel Francis getting some furious Botkins pressure here, but the Raiders just get around it. Nice play by Madeline Fry to deflect the ball. Botkins wreaking havoc on this possession here defensively. They're trying to get to that 500 mark. They lost their first 3 games this season, then won 3 in a row before falling to Covington on Monday night. Lots of Celeste Borchers wide open 17-footer. Weak side rebound, Poling. And Ronnie Poling with her second field goal of the day. She's up to 6, and the Raider lead up to 14. It's been actually Botkins' advantage the second half scoring-wise. The Raiders led 23-7 at halftime. The ball keeps moving around. Up on the inside, shot, no good. Karams down to Madeline Fry, who sticks it back in. Madeline Fry up with 6, all points in the second half for Fry. Raiders with the basketball. Goes back over to Poling, left side over to Hazel Francis. Here's being patient here. They might as well, they're up a dozen, nearly 2 minutes to go. Driving on the inside, Celeste Borchers too much on it. Good drive, off balance, Ronnie Poling. It's been a rough day for her shooting, but just threw that one up there and got it to fall. And we got a timeout here by Coach Michael Bayshore. 30-second timeout. That's by Coach Carson. And we'd like to thank our sponsors here: Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, the St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. And KTOCO Sports and its sponsors are also pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NKTOCO Cable or the NKT.TV app. You can catch the replay on Channel 154 December 18th at 6 p.m. or in Channel 3 and HD on Channel 503 December 19th at 8 p.m. or December 30th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktoco.com/sports. Time winding down here in this contest, less than 2 minutes. The Raiders looking to seal a victory here and get back to the 500 mark. The Botkins would drop to the 500 mark, and they have a steep hill to climb here. With 2 minutes to go, and Addison Shappy back in the Raider lineup. Hasn't seen much playing time the second half. Well, back over to Celeste Borchers, and Borchers fouled. The first foul of the quarter on Botkins. Raiders have done a better job after they picked up 3 quick fouls, which gave Botkins the opportunity to possibly go to the line a lot during the fourth quarter. They've done a better job defending without fouling. Again, injuries just plaguing both sides as Reagan McPherson comes on the run and jump. And it's a full timeout, but Raiders have just done a better, the Raiders and Church have just been plagued by injuries. Raiders have done a really good job of getting some of these girls to, play really well. Hazel Francis has been fantastic with 14 points. Ronnie Poling only had 8. Didn't have any at halftime. Been able to be more effective in the second half. And Claudia Haney with 2, Celeste Borchers with 5. Addison Chappie had 7 on the first half. I mean, we've seen some really good growth from Botkins, too. We know it's been tough injury-wise for them as well this year. Mulaney Maurer out for the season. As a really good sharpshooter and would have been a really good complementary guard. Camden Paul not at 100% yet. But we've seen some really good bright spots from this team. Madeline Fry, who has had a great second half. Delana Pitt's been quiet today. She doesn't have a field goal, only 2 points, but just a feisty guard that attacks downhill. And Delana Pitts, and she really bursted on in the varsity season seen last year for a team that was 14-11 and finished 3rd in the Shelby County Athletic League last year behind Fort Laramie and Russia. These teams have met often. I said in the postseason, they've met 3 years in a row in that district semifinal. Chance that might not happen this year as we're expanding to a super sectional. So teams could either play in Sydney or Troy, as you know, Sydney sectional is not going to be as traditional as like it's been in the past. As Francis loses basketball, gets it back to her cousin Borchers. And Celeste Borchers with 7 off the assist from Hazel Francis. Ball on the inside to Metz, walls up. It's Ronnie Poling. And Jana Metz has pieced together a nice day. Jana Metz up to 8. York back to Addison Shappy. Bears just looking to burn clock here. Holding that 14-point lead in the lane. Stops, pops, Shappy, no good. Rebound cleared by Fry. 45 ticks to go. Down to Metz. Metz blocked by Poling. Rebound caroms to York, and the Raiders are going to get a victory here as they try to puncture the victory, and it's blocked by McFerrin. In transition, Fry picks it up. The Raiders have a 41-27 lead now. Pitts loses control of the pivot foot, and senior Lacey Fickle will come in. Russia going to go back to 500. Here as Botkins will drop to 3-3. Botkins still playing tough here till the end. Going to give 3/4 court pressure. And there's the run and jump. On the exchange, Addison Shappy. And the Raiders just going to look to dribble it out, and they're going to get a 41-27 victory, and McFerrin will foul. With the
Botkins, number 20, Reagan McFerrin, that's your 3rd and team 2nd.
As Football will just take it out, and the Raiders will just get the basketball, and that'll be all. The Russia Raiders defeat the Botkins Trojans 41-27 here on NK Telco Sports. Let's take a look at our stats powered by Grand Lake Health Systems, our box score. First, taking a look for the Raiders, they were led by Hazel Francis with 14 points, Celeste Borchers with 7, and also Addison Shappy with 7, Ronnie Poling with 8, Claudia Haney with 2, and Kylie Dosek with 3. The Botkins Trojans were led in scoring tonight by Jana Metz with 8, Madeline Fry had 6, Janelle Plattfoot with 7, and 2 for Delana Pitts and 4 for Peyton Plattfoot. Scoring after quarters here was Russia was ahead 11-6 at the end of the first, 23-7 at half, 35-22 at the end of the third. In the final, Russia 41, Botkins 27. Again, just a game the Raiders kind of took control there in that second quarter. There was a 5-point advantage to start hitting some shots, and thought the focal point was going to be Ronnie Poling to stop for Botkins, but the Raiders had great contributions by Hazel Francis, Celeste Borchers. It just played really well overall here from a Botkins team that's still coming back from a lot of injuries, and so are the Raiders. These two teams just trying to get on the mend here, and these two are going to battle in the Claire C in the Nouveau Gymnasium back in February towards tournament draw time, and hopefully we can see everyone healthy and ready to go in that matchup. As Russia advances to 4-4, they'll be in action on Thursday against Anna. You could join me, Brandon Coverman, and Jerry McEldowney on the call for that game. And then Botkins drops to 3-3, 1-3 in the Shelby County Athletic League. They'll be back in action on Tuesday night against New Bremen. That's a game that you can catch here on NK Telco Sports. So if you're a Botkins fan, you can catch Botkins facing New Bremen here on your home of Botkins basketball, NK Telco Sports. Before we leave, one more order of business to do here tonight, and that's our player of the game, brought to you by NK Telco. And we're going to give it to Hazel Francis of Russia. Hazel, the freshman, led with 14 points. She's had multiple games where she's been in double figures and just continues to grow and showing her really grit and will for this team to get better, as the Raiders have now won 4 out of their last 5 after starting the season 0-3 for Coach Michael Bayshore. That'll do it for us here tonight from the Coliseum. My name's Brandon Coverman. For our producer, Austin Ambergy, back at the station for the final time here from the Coliseum. Russia defeats Botkins 41-27. You've been watching a presentation of high school girls basketball here on NK Telco Sports.